Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the session here. My name's Rodrigo. We're going to be here with Nic Chahine, lead trader at the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room. He's the options god here at Benzinga. He's been with Benzinga for about like 10 years, something like that. And basically, I've learned a lot from Nick as well with options and other stuff like technicals and just other, just overall options and trading. So today we're going to have a session packed with trade ideas, education, market insights from Nick directly, right? We're going to get picks from the chat room at the end of the session. So keep in mind, we're going to be here for around maybe an hour or 2 hours. I don't know, around sometime around there. But just bring it all in, guys. We got a lot to cover. Shout out to all you guys here in the session. Let's go ahead and bring on the man himself, Nic Chahine, lead trader from the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room.
Let's see. The gremlins continue. I cannot get my camera to I cannot get Zoom to recognize my camera. So you're going to have to see me as you hear me, not see me. So today, I don't know if you knew that I was dead in the water trying to share my screen, and then my provider cut me off.
Who is that? Comcast?
They had no, it's Cox Communications, and they had an outing that was system wide. So trying to see me trying to juggle a laptop, a side monitor, portable monitor, and to run it through a phone signal. It was quite the challenge, but we got through it, and I'm finally up and running. But for some reason, my camera is not working right now. It defaults to OBS software. So
it's all right, man. No worries. We can still look at the chart. I'm just showing them really quick, Nick, just the blue chat room, the general chat room.
Yeah, which look at all the messages, because I haven't been there all day because I got cut off. So here's what happened. Check it out. This is how good a community it is. So some people were in the live room. That's the only window I could open. So I was posting there, and they were taking the posts and moving them. So they were manually updating whatever they could from the live room into the chat room. So not to confuse everybody, the service has multiple layers. One is write-ups and sharing learning, and the other one is a place where you and I can talk all day, which is all day, every day, which is a regular chat room like Discord style. And then there's this, what Rodrigo is showing, that is where I'm live doing this, where I'm speaking and sharing my screen. And the opportunities there are all day, every day, for fast in and out, and the discussion of longer setups, which we discussed 2 days ago and yielded results. And so clearly we've had pretty tumultuous week, couple of weeks. So talking to somebody live and hashing things out, and sometimes we disagree. This morning I lost my temper and I apologized. So I dropped the F-bomb in there. That wasn't cool on my part, and I did apologize for the two people that were the brunt of it. But I was having a bad day, and bad day structurally. I couldn't get my screens to share, and I knew it was an important day because it was down so badly. So luckily, they maneuvered through the muck and came out on top. All I saw at the end, oh, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. So that was cool.
Right. And what are these well, I mean, this is basically like for you guys that don't know, but like all the inner circle members from Nick have access to this library, right? It's like Nick's private library, right? Of videos that pretty much get segmented here into the community. So, we're talking about what's a call, what's a put, what's a spread, credit put spreads, when to book a stop loss, how to set it up, which is the best type of trade, and also, when to use it. So this is something that I used when I was starting to pick up on options. It really, the learning curve just goes, pretty fast once you start going through these videos, right, Nick?
Yeah. So the idea is to collectively try to educate everybody so that we can trade better as a group. We do better when we're trading together. The ideas come from left and right. We have people that are pretty strong with levels for different reasons. We have people that have intuition and sources, other data sources that they come in and they say, like today, at least 2 or 3 people say, I'm long this, I'm short this. I just bought a put in that. I just bought a call in that. and they were not my ideas. They were other people's ideas. So, and not everything wins. So there was one guy that has been on a hot streak, and he had 1 or 2 losses, and today he had another win. So he goes, "I'm back on the hot streak," type of a deal. So it's a legitimate live room without a lot of noise. Today got a little noisy when I was kicked out, basically because I couldn't log back in. The whole area where I live was an outage. When I called in at first, no, we don't have any problems, and then a little bit later the website says, okay, we're experiencing problems, we expect to bring it up by. Luckily they gave me back.
Yeah, those guys suck, man. Comcast is the worst, though. I mean, I moved over to AT&T.
They're all bad. They all have their
Yeah.
bad days. I mean, the people were nice on the on it's not the phone, through the app. They have a, thank God you don't have to call. You can log in through the app and chat with somebody, and they were knowledgeable, and they do try to help you remotely, and they couldn't.
It's crazy, man. I remember one time I was in trading like 8 a.m, and one of these things just exploded out of nowhere. It's like a 3-4 hour outage. But yeah, those things happen, man. It's unfortunate, but
so now we're up and running. Now we can do whatever we want. So I have Cox Communications. I do have a gigabyte as far as a pipeline, so it's pretty fast. But when it's down, it's 0. In fact, it wasn't 0. It was trickling. It couldn't keep up my audio, let alone sharing screen. Oh, and by the way, yesterday we had almost 400 people. 400 people. That was a record. 380 people. So
well, I remember when this thing. Well, I just remember when we started this whole thing, Nick, right? And just the progress that the people have made there with trading and really being able to, like, stand with their trades and just learn, because there's a lot of education. It's not just live trading Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. It's like everything comes with a full backdrop of education, and you make it that way, right?
Yes, it is. I'm going to steal the screen from you. The live room is as simple as it can be. The goal there is just to nail as many setups as we can. And I use all kinds of tools. Mainly I'm sharing this screen, and we usually get down to the 1 minute often, but more often now we're at the sub 1 minute charts. So we're looking at 30-second charts and 15-second charts. Why? Because it just gives you that much more data than your opponent. So you can see the turn before they do. So Tesla today was an unbelievable drop. What did it end up being? Okay, down 8%, but that's well off the lows. That's crazy. So we discussed Tesla today. I said here, it had the opportunity to do that. I said, but if it loses the floor, that's your downside target. And look at where it went. Boom, and spent a lot of time there. And then when it lost, I said, before I got cut off, I said, I drew a line. I said, if you lose that, you're probably going to go to here. And then it went to here. And then if you lose that, you probably go to here. And it went to here. So it's not that we knew it was going to fall, but if you're trading actively intraday, you know what not to do. You know not to buy calls right here. You buy the calls here and you try to swing it up. You know not to buy puts here until they lose the footing. So we avoid the mistakes, which opens the door for a whole bunch of trading fun. So speaking of fun, here's the funnest thing today. By the way, you can see my screen, right? Okay, so where the heck is Zoom? Gosh, I don't know where it is. Where are my Zoom controls? Oh, there they are. Zoom, do better, man. Jeez, I put you here. Stop moving. Okay.
Yeah, Zoom is not the best either.
It's not that. It's just you set it on one side of your screen and then you take over the screen. Thank you. I appreciate it. So today, a couple of people said, what are we doing with the TLT trade? I was like, what trade? I don't even remember sharing one. So before Powell's event, we discussed the TLT. So I said, if you want to bet against the reaction that he can, against the reaction that everybody expects, which is higher rates and higher dollar, you can short the dollar, which I had already shorted and shared. We bought the UUP. UUP is an ETF that tracks the US dollar, and went short 2 days ago. I said, I'm buying a $28 put. By the way, that day, I said, I'm buying a $28 put. This happened. We booked a double, maybe a little bit more. And then I put an alert, like this orange one here. I put it somewhere here. I said, reshort the dollar. Bing, the alert came out like 3 days ago. And it took me a day to restate it. And I said, I'm buying a put. Which one? The $28 put. This happened. So today I closed mine for a 59% win. Other people closed for slightly more, slightly less. The simple UUP. So while we were doing this, I said, well, the other thing, if you want to short the TNX, this is yields. You know, this is when they say the yield curve has inverted. This is one part of it. That's the 10-year. So the yield of the 10-year. So I said, let's short this from a technical perspective. It's running into 2011 wall. Chart ABC. I don't care what this is. It's going to find sellers. And I said, the way to short this one, it does not have options. So if you go to the TNX, this is a paper trading account from E-Trade. I'm not recommending it, but I use it for training purposes. It works pretty well. So that's the TNX. It has no options. So how do I trade this? You go with the TBT. That mimics it. It is an ETF. So you can go TBT and you buy puts to short the TNX, for example. Where is it? See, not the best platform. Now it shows up. You can buy a put in here to short it, or you can go long the TLT, which moves in opposite direction. So back to one-day chart. Went long the TLT, and I couldn't remember for the life of me what kind of a trade it was. So they reminded me. They said, "Oh, Nick, you said to go long on 112 call and sell. 112 call out in time, 2 weeks out, and sell the 113 call." I couldn't remember it. Luckily, I had taken pictures and written it out. I said TLT 112 624 call. That's 2 weeks out. Sell the 113 against it. Cost was 50 cents. It's more or just about a double now. And I put a picture. You buy the one out in time, you sell the one up close. That's the order on the same platform you saw. And I drew the arrows. I said maybe first leg here, second leg here, third leg maybe up here to close the gap. So if somebody was long the TLT, they can wait until they close the gap. My opinion is that sucker does not leave you a lot of time to win. So take the win and run. That's my opinion. The TLT is unforgiving. This is E-Trade. Oh, what do I recommend instead of E-Trade? I can't recommend one. They all have their faults. Thinkorswim is pretty good charts. At least you get charts out of it. This one, no charts. So take one you're used to, and whichever one is cheaper for you. So the chat room, the live room is very active, but what comes out of it, some of it translates into things I can share into the chat room that slower traders can take. And once a day, I share something for the even slower traders that can't even be in either, and they have a job all day. So I would, like today, I'm supposed to send out 2 trades. I couldn't. It was killing me. So I had my eye on a couple of stocks. Let's see what they did. TTD is one of them. Minus 8%. That would have been a great time to get long that sucker for partial long. And the other one, I'm drawing a blank what it was. Anyway, I have it written down. We'll go through it. Maybe Square. So financial technology companies are being beaten down like they're going out of business. And I don't understand it. They're healthier than anything, the P&L. Either somebody is definitely knowing something that we don't. But I think the chat room is where I think I made my best decision to create it, because it basically makes me available to everyone 24/7. You can pop in. If you've ever used a Discord or a WhatsApp group or something like that, it's similar. It's there. It's open all the time. If I pop in it now, there'll be people there saying some stuff. Look at that, telling you to come here. For everyone, same question. Okay, so Dennis has some input. Dennis was active today. So during the day, I'm posting your messages here, is no worries. But first thing in the morning, I pop in here and I post my daily prep sheet, and it has charts, links to charts, live session chart links, right up from yesterday, This is, nobody can post here. So if you come in once a day and you just want to see my posts, you can find them all here. You'll see videos with trade setups. This is a trade setup for Lockheed, which did well today. You know, that was a range bound trade, IWM. So this is where all my messages live. But if you pop in, you want to chat with me, sidebar, you can. If you want to chat with everybody else in there, you can. They're all in here. We have 90 right now, and it's after hours. So if this is not enough for you, you can be in that other live room that you were looking at before. Unfortunately, I closed that window. And that is hopping. It's a little bit livelier. It's a little bit more active, but it doesn't have to be. So if you're not a fast trader, which I am not a fast trader, because I'm doing this. I would make mistakes. So but I like it because I see immediate results. And the discussions open the door for all kinds of other trades. Some fast, like somebody says, what do you think of Tesla today? I said, what's your time frame? They said today, intraday. So I assumed they were trying to catch the falling knife. So I started to explain, well, I wouldn't get long until I see a breach of whatever. They said, no, I'm short. I was like, okay. So then you're good for as long as they're selling the rallies. And my statement to him was, look at rallies, how they do against the prior fail. And then when they drop, see how they do relative to the support. So as long as they're failing at a consistent rate with a moving average or something, then you're good to go. You're good to stay short. And since you have profits, then you can definitely stay short. Like if there were some time left in the day, I would have said that it comes down to here based on this chart right there. So we use all the tools. We use this. We use trade ticks. Some people track the algo flow in here. This gave us so many trades this week. It was incredible. I'm trying to remember. There was divergence. So this is the machines telling us what they're behaving, that line, what they're trying to do. This is what price is doing. And when you see one go one way and the other go the other way, then one of them is wrong. Everyone who signs up, you're going to be in my live room. It is not a Discord room. It's better because Discord doesn't let me share my screen to 300 people. They have a limit of 30, I think, or 9 or 10 or something. So you can watch. Yes, if you sign up, you're going to get all the goodies that they give you, which I don't know what they do. So Rodrigo can speak to that. There might be a surprise. I'm not sure. But if you sign up to the chat room with me, the inner circle, you will get the resource videos that Rodrigo showed you earlier, write-ups that go with that. And basically, if you pop in here once a day, twice a day, you get everything you want from me. Everything I produce lives in this room, gets published in other places. But if you misplace anything else, it's all here. And if you're feeling like you have a couple of minutes to trade, you can jump in to pop in here and say, what's going on, Nick? If you don't want to be here, you can go to the live room, which there's a link to in there. And you say, you just sit and wait and watch and listen. And if you have a question, say, hey, Nick, I took a trade. Like a couple of people were caught long, of course, as I was too in some trades. So what do I do? So I explain. If I sold a credit put spread and now price is well below it, I really don't. And if I didn't close it yet, I really don't have much of a choice. So what do? I have to buy myself some time. I can either accept the shares and sell the protection leg for profit and hang on to the shares for a rebound, or I would just roll it. Rolling is a fancy term, basically says you close a loser, you reopen it out in time, buying you some time without increasing the risk to justify that you're right. And you're not trying to make money, you're just trying to get out. Ed says, what is XLE, Devin, go higher or lower? Okay, so if I was short today, I came into today short Exxon big time. So I more than doubled my money on that one. So I'm looking to close it tomorrow maybe, or trim it. I don't know. I'll see the price action tomorrow. If it stays above 91, I will stay short. But I will sell a put against it for next week and collect $100 out of it per contract. I own a put for Exxon out to July. I can sell puts against it closer to current price to book profits. And they would call that a diagonal the way I do it. You could do it and call it a calendar, but the way I do it, I call it diagonal, and I'll show you how it's done later. That's one way. I was also short Oxy, but I closed my Oxy short for more than the double because I was also short Exxon and the USO. I just had a discussion in one of the chat rooms with somebody who said, why do you keep fighting the trend? Oil is not finding any weakness. I said, that's fine. I'm not fighting the trend. I'm playing the trend. The trend is up or whatever. I'm selling risk. I'm betting against the price action breaching support and resistance levels. And that's gotten me. How many people have shorted oil and made money? Not too many people. I've yet to lose money on shorting oil. I was on paper down in one of the trades, and now I'm back to even with shorting the USO with a credit call spread, bear call spread, same thing. And that bet is still ongoing. I think I will win that bet in the end, but we'll see. You can't take back the profits I made from Oxy. I left some money on the table because I closed it before today, but I'm still short Exxon and I'm very profitable. So I have nothing to explain to anybody on that front. The lines on the charts are your best guides right now. So let's check. We can jump in and check. So this is what happens in the chat room. Ed pops in and says, hey, what is XLE and Devon? What about those? What are they doing? So we'll go in here. XLE, I just told you I am short the USO, therefore I am short the XLE. So let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. All right. So this is a stock, ABC stock. If you tell me, if my mother, who is 90, has, lives in Lebanon and her bank is bankrupt, so she really is bankrupt because of that. If this is a stock she brings me and say, I want to invest in this stock, what do you think? I don't care what it is and what it's doing for a living, this company. There is no way on the planet you would make me go long a stock going into two prior massive monthly fails, one from the financial disaster of 2008 and one from the 2014. Is that the flash crash? So there's no way on the planet that is a good idea, for starters. Yet everybody tells you oil is going to $1 billion. Really? Yeah. Let's see how well the White House can maintain its stance on whatever it's doing with oil when middle America pays over $6 a gallon. I'm in California. I pay over $6 a gallon already, but I'm in California. When the middle America pays $6 a gallon, the heat will be unbelievable. Ahmed, you're in there one day, right? I saw you in there one day. We said hello. 2 days, maybe? Okay. Patience, man. Patience. Okay. If you want to learn how to do it for the long term, stay. If you want the pure trade alert guy, say buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, and you learn shit. Excuse me, you learn nothing. I bet you can find somebody that'll do that for you. I think it's more worth it to learn how to do it. And different people have different styles. I don't want you to learn my style. I want to try to teach you a style that works for you, a way that fits your time frame. If you have a job, how can we work with that? What kind of trades work well with this environment? So that's what we do all day. I spend most of my day trying to work with other people's styles of trading. And I almost know everybody, how they trade. Like when I'm speaking to one person, I know what they're thinking. So I know how to answer. And I know what to say in order to help them in the way they trade. So the goal is to not make mistakes. I can guarantee you'll make a lot fewer mistakes if you're in the room with us. I can guarantee you will become a better chart reader. I can guarantee you'll become a better trader than you come in. All these are guaranteed. I can guarantee them because I'm the one delivering them. Unless you cannot learn, which I've yet to meet one. I did meet one, but it was a personal friend, so I'm not offending anyone. He had a mental block. He could not learn it. I guarantee you that I'll teach you everything that you'll come out better for it. And if you don't like it, Benzinga has a way out. I would be shocked if they don't offer a 7-day money day back out. No questions asked. You need someone is very new person.
Hey, Nick, really quick here, man. I'm getting A couple emails here from the folks about the chat room. So
Yeah.
let me just get these things out of the way really quick, and we can get back here rock and rolling. All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So number one, thanks a lot for these questions, guys. These are for the chat room, but we'll go over some of the main ones here that I saw. So does Nic Chahine go over member trade ideas and setups? Yes, that's part of the everyday communication. Are the Sunday sessions recorded? Yes, those sessions are recorded and they're posted in the chat room for all the members. Does everybody that joined get a free laptop? Yes, till midnight. What is the chat room schedule? That's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. and Sundays. I believe 10 a.m. Eastern till noon. I believe, right, Nick? Eastern?
Sunday is 10 a.m. Eastern, and it goes as long as we need to get it done.
Okay, cool stuff, man. And let's see, money back guarantee. There's a 7-day money back guarantee, and the price at renewal, that's going to be the same as today, 70% off. But I want you guys to know something. Nick's responsibility here is really just in the blue chat room. What you see in the live trading room, where Nick is there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, that was an idea from Nick himself, and he implemented it with everybody there. The people there loved it, and it's proven great. It's been amazingly helpful, because imagine being with somebody 9 to 5 like the whole day. It's like if you don't learn, it's because you don't want to. It's that simple.
Okay, thanks for that. I appreciate it. So Devin might have a bounce tomorrow. So if I was long Devin and I was losing money and it bounces towards 67, I would consider getting out if this gets me fixed. I think there'll be sellers lurking over here. If they can't clear 72.30, I think convincingly, like clear it and use it as footing, I think they're headed lower. Any rallies to here, I would get out. That is a 15-minute chart. So it is like day to day, not intraday necessarily. So here's the risk on Devon. I haven't covered it in a while. I used to trade it. I haven't in a while. So here's the risk. Let's say it bounces, right? I just told you, look at all these candles. This is the very heavy high volume area. So is this where it's at right now. So it's going to find sellers. And if they bring it back to here and they lose this neckline of sorts, the neckline can be this way. So let's just say it looks like this. It will come back down as big as this. And not straight down, it'll bounce to here, here, and here. So I'm not giving you a forecast. I'm telling you what to look for. So if you're long Devon, now you can make a decision. So what they're doing is they're maybe drawing a right shoulder to a head and shoulders. And the downside of a head and shoulders, if you talk to technicians, they tell you it's this much. That's what they say. I say, let's look left first and see where it can stop before it fills the thing. So that's a lot of support. And there's support below it. Let me see, where is that? 50. Check that out. This is just below it, and mine is an eyeball. So Devon bounces should be sold, my opinion. Hey Pedro, I'll vote for that. I don't know. That's a question to the people in there. We'll make it happen somehow. Back to the opportunity, back to what we can do, back to what happens. First things first, learn. Yesterday, I'm trying to remember what ticker it was, SPY. Hopefully I kept yesterday, the price action was phenomenal, right? And when we closed, right there, I love it. It's still there. Here's the opportunity. So we spent all day, we had a whole bunch of wins all day. When the market opened, I said, look out for this pattern. Just at the open, I said, we're going to fade. And I had arrows. I said, you buy the dip here, you exit first here, you exit second here. And this is what happened. And so if somebody did that, they won. But here's the kicker, like with minutes to go, we were up here. I went ahead and opened this I went into the SPYs, and yesterday there was an expiration contract, right? Today there wasn't, so I couldn't do that same thing today. And I looked at the puts and calls, volume, and open interest, and was like, and I was literally updating my chart. I was updating. I forgot what I was saying, and then I said, wait, I think they're going down. They need to be under 380 before the close. That's what I said. I said it's 25 cents to buy the 380 put, and it was at 384 with like 4 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go, something like that. That's what happened. The 25 cents turned into a big win, $1.60 at the top, and it closed $1.35. So if you did 10, you risked 250, and you ended up with $1,300. So that was a last minute. Why? Because I was reading the tea leaves as far as options, and I saw an opportunity, and I threw it in there, and it was an easy one. Just buy a put, expiry today, cost 25 cents. Jay is asking about Devon, long-term, short-term view. It's a midterm view. It was a 15-minute chart or something, but it doesn't matter. It's the levels that matter. Jay, I showed you where the level. If you get a bounce in Devon, don't use it to buy calls. That's my opinion. You're free to do what you want. But chart ABC, that one we talked about, the Devon one, if you bounced, I think it'll face sellers. So if the bounce fixes your problem, if you have a trade that's under fire, I would take advantage of that to get out. That would be my explanation as far. It's not so much the time, it's the actual price levels that matter. I think the bounces will be sold. All right, so headlines. Check this out. Are you a person who loves headlines? This is the most ridiculous thing on the planet. All right, 3 hours before they open. That was like pre-open data. Reuters, oil moves higher on tight supplies, firm demand outlook. Less than 3 hours later, oil price falls after U.S. rate hike, but tight supply in focus. And then what? Oil closed green, right? I'm dying to find out what they're going to say. Oil dives under. It's a bunch of horse bucky. Do not listen to news. It's poison. It's absolute poison. Here's why. The news is designed to elicit feelings in you. Otherwise, why would you watch? If they say, we watch the news, nothing happened really, would you stay tuned? No. They're there to scare you, to elicit so you can watch. So they're not evil. That's just how they make their money. So if you use that, you're going to get FOMO in. That's how FOMO is. So all day in the chat room, I'm trying to keep everybody stop talking about news. Like everybody's talking about Twitter today. What did Elon say? What just trade the charts. Let's see what happened to Twitter. Okay, so let's see, 5 minutes. So today was wild in Twitter, I see. Wow, it ended up red. Okay, so last night I spoke to somebody about Twitter, sidebar. She was stuck in a trade, and I said what she should do. It was an in the money call, and it had lost. And I said, use any strength to get out. So it popped open on a headline overnight. Elon, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. But look at where it died. Look at where it died. Okay, so if you bought calls there, you need to be in my room, because you would not buy calls there. I guarantee it. Because you would look left and you would say, holy crap, that's where it died before and before and before that. Nope, not buying calls here. And then it did this. And then it did this. If you bought calls here, you weren't in my room, because you would look left and I would have said, above here, maybe you can think about chasing it, but into here, you don't. That's prior fail, and a huge accident scene right here. So look at this. Wow. They do not look. I mean, if you don't believe in technical analysis, I don't know what else to show you. It's crazy. Okay. So we do what we can to first avoid mistakes, and along the way, trying to find opportunities. I promise you, I answer maybe 1,000 questions a day, and from 300 people. And I have a whole bunch of, yesterday, I was overwhelmed. Somebody told me they doubled their account. in a private message. So I asked her permission. I said, am I able to share it with other people? So it's a matter of me finding it, and I can't. So anyway, so this person says, with 328 people in the room, I cannot emphasize how happy I am to join your group. I have a large account, and your debit put spread SPX made me a lot of money. Traded 10 to 15 contracts each time, 11 trades. Okay, those are fun trades. I'll share those trades with you right now. They're hilarious. Or today, remind me. So that'll be fun to share. So the idea is, late in the day or early in the day, I identify an opportunity based on me knowing levels. And if I'm confident that the S&P or the SPX is going to expire above a certain level or below a certain level, we can immediately put in a trade that would take advantage of that. So this person is thanking me for introducing them to such an easy, silly trade. And let me walk you through it. This alone should entice you to come join the group. Okay, if you do nothing else, if you wanted to be a day trader, this is day trading with very little money. Let me explain. So let's go with the SPX. So everybody talks about credit put spreads, iron condors, credit call spreads. So you see these boxes, those are them. So on days where I have visibility onto the options, believe it or not, they tell us exactly what price wants to do, what price is trying to do. And without any major super bad headlines, that's what usually happens. There's no disruption. So when I see that, I say, okay, here's what I would do right now. Like the other day, I was confident that we would close above 3,700. So I said, you can either sell a put spread below 3,700 and wait for time to tick. And you would basically make 20% in 20 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour, depends on how early you do it. And the only way you lose is if I'm wrong and price falls below 3,700. So this is an SPX trade, dies in minutes, and you're on and then you're off. Now, if you say, well, my account doesn't allow me to do credit spreads, well, you can mimic it with a debit spread. So let's give you a quick rundown on that. So anybody here that doesn't know options at all, so don't know how I can introduce it. Okay, so let's say this was today. This is today. This expired today. And let's say I do a credit put spread. Technical analysis training, you sit in my room, you get all the technical analysis you want. However, yesterday, or today actually, I did it last night by 8 o'clock my time in Pacific. I share videos. I shared a video on why I wanted to go long this or that, or short this or that. And the video is 18-minute long. And it has everything. It has fundamentals, it has technicals, it has everything you need. So if you're in my live room, you're getting my attention and my answers and my tricks, and they are very simple tricks. I promise you they will change your life live. So the idea that you want videos, you have live video. I'm there. You ask me, hey, how did you determine this? So this is a quick lesson. A credit put spread, also you've heard it called bull put spread. These are puts, these are calls. This expired today. If somebody did this trade, they sold a put, they bought a put. They collect $100, they risk 400. You're saying, what? Yeah, that's 25%. You tell me, if you spend $400 to buy a stock, wouldn't you be happy making 100 out of it? That's the same thing, only it's backwards. You collect the reward first and you see if they have to give back some. If not, you keep it. So it's crazy, right? So this trade would have required price to be above here. That's it. It doesn't need a rally, and it delivers 25%. Okay. So some people cannot do a credit spread. Their account is not does not allow it, but they can do debit spreads. Guess what? You can do that. That is a debit spread that will behave like this one. What does it mean? With minutes to go, or half an hour to go, or an hour to go, if I have visibility, that's a big if. that price is going to stay above here or above here. I take this bet, I buy it, and it costs $400. It should cost $5, $500, because there's still an hour left or 40 minutes left. The market maker will give me a discount. Hey, things can go wrong in the next half hour, so I will give you a discount. So you pay $400 for something that should be $500. The only reason it's not $500 is because there's time on the clock. And then you're saying, come on, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell, and the bell rings. It turns into $500. So these two trades are the same. This one, you pay $400 to make the 100. So that's 25% on your risk. This one, you collect the 100, the reward, and you see if you have to give back the 400. And if you don't, you made 25%. So if you can't do credit spreads, you can do debit spreads. This only works, listen, in SPX. You cannot do this in the SPY, because the SPY trades like a stock. You can get assigned. The SPX is an index. There's no assignment. It's what they call cash settled. You can't buy the SPX, so they can't assign you SPX. They settle it with math. So silly trades like this, and you can even make an iron condor with that. If you do the opposite one here in puts, you buy a debit put spread that's all in the money. So you pay $400 when it's supposed to be $500. Then you turn that into a weird non-iron condor. So you can buy two things to mimic an iron condor, which requires selling two things, and some accounts are restricted. So little tricks. And this trade has worked every time we've done it. We haven't, maybe one had a win. And if somebody didn't close it, they had a loss. That one day, was it Friday when we fell out of bed late? Thursday or Friday? I can't remember. So the trade worked most day. And if they didn't close it, then they got blown out at the end of the day. So the tricks of the trades to make money and teach. So if you understand this concept, if it's gibberish for you right now, I'll explain it when you're in. If you understand that concept, just understand it, you will have an extremely strong command over options and how they work. Extremely. So like you see here, this 11.4 and 11.4, that's somebody that made a lot of money. The seller had an idea that price was going to be here at the close. So they basically, looks like they sold a straddle. So they collected money from the put buyers. They collected money from the call buyers. And when the bell rang, both those guys lost. Well, this one lost. This one made a little bit. But the market maker, whoever sold these two, made a lot. So depends on what time they sold it. The idea is pretty cool. If you ever wanted to level up your game for a reasonable price, and I say reasonable price because as much effort as I put into it, it's not even priced close to rewarding me. We are on almost all the time. And if you have a question, your question will get answered right away. Today was my worst day in answering questions because I was out of touch. I physically could not do it. I was running one PC, one laptop with a side monitor, and off of a phone signal, 2 bars on a 5G. This 5G stuff, it's not that fast. So I couldn't share screen. I could only share audio. So I was sharing charts from the audio through the live room. And people there were relaying it out as best as they can, the important stuff. So I'm appreciated it. If they weren't happy, they wouldn't do this. If they weren't happy, they would have left me this morning when I yelled at them. I yelled at 2 people and I apologized because I lost my temper. And they were all cool about it at the end of the day. If we weren't doing good things, they'd be out of there so fast. Correct? Yes. There is no hoopla. There is no promises of golden tickets. There's promise of solid fundamentals and excellent technical skills, not just from me. We have several excellent people. Katya shares her pitchforks all day without me asking. Cypher is in there just killing it with the levels and the Fibonacci extensions and the harmonics. And we have excellent people that know how to read options tables, and they find unusual options activities. So we got it covered. As a group, we are pretty damn strong. You're welcome to join it. That's my spiel. I'm out. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not out. but I need to take a breath and a sip. Rodrigo, you got something to say? Rodrigo's gone. All right, so give me tickers. Let's jump in. Give me a ticker.
Yeah, something happened here with my microphone. But yeah, take a look at PayPal there, Nick.
PayPal. Ugh, don't do that to me, man.
It's your
What
favorite.
a heartbreak.
Yeah, and then I got another question for you after that.
Okay. So I have to admit that I am puzzled with PayPal. So this is TrendSpider. I'm testing it out. It does a lot, but I don't like it yet as much. Maybe it's because I've been using TradingView for 8 years. Let me see here. Go to daily. Let's go to weekly. The story with PayPal is really a conundrum wrapped up in the riddle, whatever they say it. So this is PayPal for long term. These are weekly candles. Every candle is 1 week. This is the pre-pandemic high when markets broke all-time highs, February 2020. Then the pandemic crash, and then this freaking stupid rally. Thank you, Kathy. And then this debacle. And now they can't stop selling it. Now it's below 2017 levels. 2017. You'd think that they're going out of business. They are not. They are, thank you, Brian. They are as healthy as they can by score. I don't know if there's some underlying condition that's coming, like are they going to be out of business for reason A, B, C? That is unknown to me, but the math doesn't work out. Something is wrong. So I would stop trying to catch it. And I'll tell you why. If it rallies, I bet you anything the small caps are rallying and or the S&P is rallying. Why take on that extra risk that comes with PayPal? So that's my comment about the overall thing. As far as the chart is concerned, there's no help. The support is so far back that machines will have a hard time using it to stop it. This rally was too big, too fast, and it presents a weak point. So be careful with it and trade it if you want to short term or not. Just take a long that would mimic it without its risk. I would also say the same thing about Square, and I'm struggling. I did a video about Square yesterday, and where is it? Of course not. There it is. Square. We'll go to a daily chart. It too is falling out of control. If I go to a weekly chart, God, I forgot to turn off my AC here. It's freezing in this room. I'm in California and I'm freezing. So here's the big picture on Square, which should move in stride with PayPal. It's still better than PayPal. In essence, it didn't go down to 2017. It's not cheap. PayPal is somewhat cheap. It fell into, this is the pandemic zone. The all-time high in the markets, it wasn't an all-time high for Square. It was a prior fail zone, if you consider that. So you have to respect that fact. In fact, I'm going to put one line right here as resistance. The whole zone should be supportive, but look how wide it is. Pretty crazy, right? So let's see if we can find another support zone line that could be interim support. I like this zone here somewhere. So I'm going to put it right here. There are two matching points. Check it out. This one, and this cluster fight over it. So rallied, failed, rallied, failed. Does this give me those little bubbles? No, they're already done. And then they fought over it, and then they jumped out and then bounced off of it. This is the pandemic, so I would consider that a bounce off of it. You know, we shut the world down, and here we are coming down into it. So that's $57. So that's like air math, 14%, 13, 14% extra downside from here. So I can see the bottom. That's what I'm saying. In PayPal, I can't see the bottom anymore. So here, at least I have something I could call a quote potential bottom. I'm in Southern California, sleeper. So the idea is to somewhere here find the bottom. So how can I trade something like this? If I'm a slowpoke trader like me, which I am, so I would go in there and I say, you know what? Here's what one can do. This is the discussion. This went on in the room today, and we discussed Tesla. And let me tell you one thing. The break-even point on that trade I suggested in Tesla was 193. just to tell you how cautious that trade was. $193 you break even on that trade. So the worst case scenario is you own Tesla shares and you break even at 193, and you catch a falling knife today. Somebody else had one that pays $5,500. I said it's a bit much. So mine was much, much, much more demure. So let's say you say, you know what? I like this Square guy and I want to give it room. And let's see how much room can we give it and still make money off of it. So if I'm okay owning shares at $30 or $35, what I can do is I can go out to the end of the year and say, you know what, I'm okay owning shares down there October through November. You pick a month and you sell a put. So for example, if you're okay owning it at 40, this is not a trade alert, okay? Especially if you've never done this. I said earlier that these are puts. Let me walk you through what that means. All right. So let's say somebody has Square shares and they're worried about the future. They have whatever perception of what's going to happen, zombies in the street, and they want to protect themselves at $40. So they buy a put. That's an insurance policy for them. In this case, this particular put has 127 days on the clock. So for the next 127 days, the buyer of that put, have the right to, not the obligation, to call me in and say, hey, you promised to buy my shares. So they buy insurance from somebody who promises them to buy their shares. And what happens? If price does this, then the seller of that put, the person that sells them that, is on the hook. They have to buy the shares at 40, even if price is at 30. So end of the world, right? Holy cow, you just lost $10 on the $40 base. No, I didn't. I collected 40 to open it. So $400 to open it. So I break even here. So I'm only losing from here to here. And that's after it fell all the way down. So, and that's if I didn't sell the stock. So me, the seller, I would sell them that put. So somebody wants to buy insurance. If I do my homework and say, you know what, this Square thing, yeah, I'll buy you shares at 40. You said, yeah, I'm all about it.
Hey,
So
Nick,
then
really quick here.
I take
Sorry,
it.
just want to give a quick shout out to Stewie. Welcome to the chat room here, Stewie, newest family member. Let's go.
All right, thanks for joining. I'll get with you tomorrow. I'm going to be too tied up today to be able to contribute anything in there. Somebody's saying they're relatively new. Does it ever get overwhelming in the daily chat room? It gets overwhelming, but I want to remind you to namaste, back off a little bit and say, I don't need to understand every word here. Let me focus on the ones that I know and grab one that I want to know and ask about it. You ask about one that you don't know, you put it in your back pocket because I will explain it. And it's repetitive. Now you have one less, what was that? And then one less, what was that? And suddenly, before you know it, you get most of what's going on in there. So everybody asks, nobody's judged. And you do have a direct message, even in the live room. You can direct message me, say, hey, Nick, not to be a bother. I just don't know what you just said. I don't want to sound like an idiot. So anyway, let's finish this conversation. There's somebody that wants insurance. I do the homework. I want the shares. We're both bullish. The other person who wants the insurance, if they weren't bullish the stock, they would sell it. They wouldn't pay money to guard it. So I'm bullish because I want to buy their shares. So we're both bullish. We're just arguing about price. So it's not bearish. Okay. This way, I am long Square. I don't pay anything to be long Square. I get collect money to be long Square. And my worst case scenario that I own a share, 100 shares at a $15 discount from current price, more. So my break-even point is even lower. So that's not the end of the world. However, I do want to caution you against going out and start selling puts left and right. In an environment like this, we could be crashing. I mean, we are missing a piece of the puzzle, folks, are we not? What the hell is happening? That's the question mark. What's happening is the lack of leadership. And I don't mean like one person. I mean like the world. There's no leadership on the financial sector. Jerome Powell has lost his marbles. The world smells blood and everybody wants to be the supreme leader of the world. So it's just a mess out there. Just be careful. We don't know what we're missing. All right. So if you sell puts left and right, you're opening too much risk at the same time. So the second best thing to selling a naked put is to turn it into a put spread, a much more limited liability trade that rewards very well, very well. This one would reward you more than 25%. This one will reward you 25%. What's wrong with that? And this one leaves room for a drop to $35. Okay. And this one can be done in a small account. An account, this requires $400 per contract. So if I have an account of $10,000, if I take one contract, it would only eat up $400. By eat up, I mean when you take a trade with credit spreads, the platform says, okay, you do have 10,000, but guess what? I'm going to lock up 400 because that's your maximum loss, just in case. I want to make sure you don't overextend yourself. Like a credit limit. You run your credit card for $100. If you had a credit limit of 3,000, suddenly you have 29, you have $100 less. Okay. You get the point. So $100. And the other day I did a trade on Lockheed Martin that doesn't require much because it's an iron condor. I don't know
Hey,
what
Nick,
Lockheed
really
Martin
quick
is.
here. Want to give a shout out to our newest member here of the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room family, Walter Harris. Welcome to the family, Walter. Let's go. Give a shout out.
Walter, welcome. And I encourage you tomorrow morning. My morning is very early. Your morning was whatever it is. Before the market opens, like half an hour, if you have time, pop into the chat room, the Inner Circle chat room. You log into your account, you pop into it and see what's going on. Say hello, good morning, I'm new. I'll pick you up there. And then I'll tell you what to look for and what to say, what to do, and where to go if you can. I think it'll be fine. So hit me up tomorrow morning when you log in. And that goes for everybody else that joins today. Okay, so Lockheed Martin fell how much? 2.5%. That's not so bad. My trade is range bound. So I'm okay until here. I'm okay until there. We'll see what happens. So, okay, that's cool. Back to what were we doing? Oh, fried, brains fried. Square. Okay, so there are trades you can do. So today I had the similar setup with Tesla. Somebody said, I have a good size account. How can I trade Tesla? I said, if I had a good size account, almost a foolproof trade on Tesla is on giant down days. Today it was down 10, 12%, whatever is down. What do? I sell a put into the fear at a place where I'm willing to own shares. I don't have to own them, but if I'm called upon, I have to step up to the plate. So they came up with a very aggressive one. I said, whoa, yeah, no, not for me. I would go much less money at higher odds of success. So we discussed it, but it's doable. And then somebody said, well, I don't have that kind of account. I said, well, and actually I didn't say it. They said, so I did a credit put spread. I was like, solid. I high-fived them because that's the second best thing. So, and there's no need to do anything. It's not like you're going to miss out on anything. There's always another day to trade, and there's always another trade available. So we have a good time. We have a good time. Let me see here. I'm trying to.
Yeah, the other thing that I mean, personally, that I learned a lot with the chat room was a lot of technicals, entries, and contract, like the contracts, the price action within the contracts. Those are little nuances, right? But like they make a big difference of knowing how this stuff works.
That's the major differences. Major differences. What happens? So
wasn't this one person that I remember? I mean, it probably happens often, but like somebody goes in there. He's like, "Hey, Nick, I did a credit call spread," and they send you a screenshot, and it turns out they did something totally different, and they
yes, I
expose
remember those
themselves.
scenarios. Somebody today. Oh, you want a funny story about that? Just from today, first thing in the morning before my system went kaput. So, was it today or last night? I can't remember. I think it was today. So I forgot the guy's name. He pops into the live room. He said, Nick, that trade you did on 285, forgot what it was. It must have been the Qs or something. A call, the QQQ last night. That was then last night. so it was from the day before, and last night we had the conversation. He comes to me and says, that put spread you did with the at 285. I was like, wait, what put spread? I had suggested a call calendar on the cues that played out. And my setup was based on the implied volatility game. I said, this is almost a sure win because they're selling the implied volatility for the event at such money. And oh, I know what it was. It was for the Powell event. I said, I bet we rally out of the Powell event. And the way I would trade it is by buying the Monday or Friday today call and then selling the call against it that expired yesterday during the Powell event. And that trade played out great. Well, he said it in puts, which was the opposite. I was like, wait, what? And he had me sweating for like 20 minutes. I'm panicking. I'm going through my notes to see how I posted it wrong. I didn't. It turns out that he goes, oh, but this is a paper trade. And I was like, oh my God, do you think you would lead with that? And everybody just busted out laughing in the ring. He had me sweating bullets. And he goes, it was a paper trade. It's like, oh, geez. Okay, so good lesson to learn. Look at what we're looking at. This is one of many. I got bombarded yesterday with comments like this in a good way. So this person said, look, 344 people. This person said, how can I send you a screenshot? You saved me on SPY puts, made 1020. So that drop I told you about yesterday, if you didn't believe me, that was one person's comment. Ben made good money. Ben, I met in person in Vegas in the FinTwit event. Let me see here. So we had a good time that day, yesterday, with that, just as an example. But that's not the one I was looking for. I was looking for an even better one. Anyway, I'll look for it. I shall look for it because the person, I almost made me cry. Not that I would. I'm a man. I don't cry. Oh, this is the same guy. It says something about the IWM, but that wasn't him. Shoot. Okay. Anyway, give me another ticker while I'm doing this. Hector? Oh, Hector, yes. Hey, high five, Hector. Was it a QQQ? 285? Call calendar, right? Something like that. Riyadh, we'll do Oxy. I'll gladly do Oxy. Here's somebody said something yesterday. I'm giving you stuff because it's not horse bucky. That number, I think, is 363. Played at 2. Thanks, Nick. Thanks again. 3 trades from you, 3 winners. Or I think it's 3. That looks like a 3. 3 trades from you, 3 winners. All right. So it's not horse bucky. I promise you. That stuff happens. It's crazy. I love it. It's crazy. All right, one more, and then we'll go to Oxy. No, I can't see it. Okay, I'm done looking. All right, out. Oxy. I bet I have lines. And we'll do NVIDIA, Pedro. No problem. Look at all those lines. Okay. So you see all these lines. I thought it would fail here, and it didn't, right? So and then we tracked it up there, and then it did its thing. And then what does that say? Sellers in charge. That was a question mark. And then I drew, one pattern led to another. I said, I call these tag teaming bears. Tag teaming bears meaning you have a small head and shoulders or whatever bearish pattern, and it's not a big deal on its own. But when it hits its target, it triggers a bigger one. It's not a big deal on its own, but it hits a bigger one. See, tag teaming bears. That little white thing triggered the red thing, triggered the yellow thing, and may be triggering the blue thing, which would then trigger the big one right here, which will get your Oxy to 42. That doesn't mean Oxy's headed to 42. What does it mean? Sell the rallies in Oxy. I think Oxy's day is done. Whoa, famous last words. How many people did I piss off right now? I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I'm on team Icon here. So Icon and Buffett were long. It rallied. Icon said, thank you, I made $1 billion, bye-bye. Buffett is still adding. I don't get it. His mantra is you have to be nervous when other people are bullish and bullish when other people are nervous or something like that. He's breaking his mantra. He's a smart guy. He might know something I don't. From the chart itself, I would not get long Oxy. Having said that, it has support. That cluster right here should present a good solid support. See, they didn't fail here. So I'll take that out. Actually, I'll leave it there because I was wrong. I didn't say I was wrong. I said this is a catalyst and this is a catalyst. We'll take both of them out. So I'll take one that was right for me and I'll take one that was wrong for me. So I'm not deleting lines that didn't work for me. Open air, I said, if you take that out, it's gone. And it did. So I'll leave that there. So I acknowledge the threat. I asked, are the sellers in charge? Yes. The answer is yes in hindsight. See that? All the sellers in charge. So look out for rallies. Don't buy rallies. They're selling rallies. Now, the code, the algo is sell the rally, sell the rally, sell the rally. When will they stop? They will hit a level that's significant. This looks significant. They will have a big fat battle here. So if this indeed was a trigger, they'll try to recover it. And if they fail to get above 60, round number, plus or minus, they will come back down and test this. And if they lose this, they'll go below 50. So don't try to buy calls anymore, in my opinion. This rally was insane. I'm going to give you a stat. Chew on this. The PE of Exxon is higher than Facebook/Meta. The PE of a boring oil company with a dying demand is higher than the company that's dominating the world with its future. The future of social media is immersive social media, which is the metaverse. Everybody's going there. That's not 100 years old, and that includes me. So the metaverse is where everybody, the second step of social media, which is eating the world right now. And that's the company that's the biggest thing in there. And its PE is smaller than the Exxon. That is wrong. That is wrong. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So just word to the wise. The oil trade has gotten as exuberant as it can. Now, it is a manipulated a commodity. If OPEC cannot exist legally in the US, it will be illegal for collusion on price, demand. They fix everything. They fix supply. They fix the reports on demand. They fix price per country. What? So it's bizarre, but it's manipulated. It is rigged, to use a pun. Oil is a rigged game, so they can do whatever the hell they want. Don't fight them in spite.
Hey, really quick, Nick.
I'm fighting them in spite, but I'm winning and I'm getting out as soon as I get a win. Yes, sir.
Since you are in the energy topic, what do you think is going to happen with this whole bill they want to do about limiting profits for oil companies? Is that real? Could that pass, or
the limiting profits on oil companies?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. If they're trying to limit profits, don't you think they should take away the tax advantages first? I mean, wouldn't that be like the easiest thing to do, that you don't need to pass a law to, hey, you're getting the free money from me. How about I stop it right now? Have they done that? If they haven't done that, that means it's horsepucky what they're saying in the news. It's just job owning. You can pull the free money, the tax advantages that they have, tax breaks, whatever they are, then talk about penalizing them. That's weird. So anyway, I trust politicians just as much as I trust OPEC members, so which is not much. So Intel hasn't been in the 30s in a long time, and it just fell. I'm in a trade wrong, but I knew that I could take fire, but I know I'm getting a bargain if I get assigned the shares. So this was a huge breakout for Intel, this yellow thing. I charted it and I couldn't believe they did it like years ago on a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart. And they got to the top and they went further. So let's go back to more recent times and take out the lines. So now they lost that little weak point and they went back to a strong base. strong base. I bet there are buyers lurking here. The problem is the sector is sick. AMD and NVIDIA have made such a drastic mistake in the last few years. Here's what it is. This one right there. That was a mistake. Guess what? July of 2020, freaking ARK Invest. They gave everybody the impression that investing to the moon, and they went and did a whole huge head and shoulders, and they didn't come back and close these 2 weak points. So now you have a hole here and a hole here. That's look at when you say a gap, you know what they mean? They don't mean a hole in the chart. They mean a gap in volume. Look at the volume here. I know nobody tells you that. Look at the volume here. This is all volume. These are all transactions. These are all transactions. Look at what's in between. Nothing. So if Intel loses this, they go whoop, because there's nothing. They'll be fight. You lose the fight, go into another fight for support. So they already triggered a giant head and shoulder right here. So until AMD gets back above 100 to 108 and hold it, this is going down to 70 or 60 with a lot of support, But I think it ends up at 62, 63, which will be a buying point because it'll be right in here.
Hey, Nick, really quick shout out to, I think this is the same Brian from the chat, but shout out here to Brian J. Zamet. Welcome to the family here. Let's go.
All right. Nick is high on life or something. I'm just going crazy here with so we did Oxy, we did Intel, we did NVIDIA, we kind of did. It's the same answer as AMD. Both excellent companies. By the way, I don't recommend you buy an AMD machine. I've been an Intel fan all my life. I've been buying Intel machines all my life. I just recently bought 2 AMD machines out of the blue. I was like, screw it, I'm going Ryzen. I bought a desktop Ryzen 9, top notch, tons of memory. I bought a good laptop, not top end, also AMD Ryzen 7, I think. So not slouch. So they have bugs. Maybe it's the software that's built for Intel and it doesn't work. Out of the blue, yesterday, my desktop locks up, and it's always in the video card. So I don't know how much that's gonna, if it's just me, I don't think so. I'm an engineer. I know how to use computers inside and out. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So NVIDIA is in the same problem. They left a lot of weak points in the run-up from the summer of 2020. By the way, for reference points, this is life before COVID. So I'm going to wake you up with a little scary thing here. This is a head and shoulders. Target of that is this. Somewhere around here. That's a good place to stop, but that's 2021. This is life before COVID. What? Okay, so you saw CRM went to here. Amazon went to here. PayPal went to here. Square went to here. Who else? All the small caps went to here today. Small caps today, they closed their gap. That's 3,000 stocks. Who else? Big guys that got here. You know who's not here? Apple, AMD, NVIDIA. Apple is 40%. Apple from here to current price in Apple, well, it was before today. Let's call it 35%. Google and Microsoft about 20%. Until they hit their base. The S&P today probably got pretty damn close. I didn't look. We'll look in a second. It was 10 to 12%. After today, probably closer. So NVIDIA, I think, will target 120. Has a lot of support, tons of support. So if the market's stabilized, maybe they don't go there. But here's my advice. If it bounces, get out. The sellers are in charge. Assume it. Don't assume this time is different. Assume they're going to do this. And if they don't, great. Now start looking for a bottom. Until that, you don't assume. So the bottom is a process, is not a flashpoint in time. So I'm borrowing these words from a dead friend of mine who was an excellent technician. Sadly, he died of COVID recently. So if this happens, and then this happens, and then they stop here, so now they're making progress. and then they go back and they tackle a prior fail and they pop above it, come back. Now they can come down to here and look, the progress goes and they tackle prior fail. And then they meet battle zones, and that becomes a tougher battle. So lower highs is fine. Higher lows is good. Then they meet at a place and they battle it out. They either go like this, boop, or yep, we're snapping out of it slightly. And they start building an ascending trend. Now you got yourself a nice bottom, as opposed to these stupid V-shaped things. That is amateur action. So look for a nice rounding bottom. First thing, stop making lower lows. Find support, which they have, and then start building higher lows. Lower highs is okay. Come to blows. Fight it out a little bit one more time. Take out, establish footing, build a little ascending channel. You got a nice rounding bottom that lasts forever instead of these chop, 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 chop. Good. NVIDIA, good. Oxy and Intel. So if you need trading, are you stuck in a trade? Tell me what you got. Maybe I can help you. You're welcome, Pedro. Like, I'm stuck in a credit put spread in Intel. I did nothing with it. I have time on the clock, I believe. I did nothing with it. If I get assigned at 38, I'll take the shares. I'll sell my protection legs for profit, and I'll wait a couple of days. I bet you I can make money off of it. TKS, I'm not familiar. Or is this thanks? TTD, yes, I like TTD. I did a video on it. You're welcome, Riyadh. تحكي عربي؟ إذا بتحكي عربي ما في شيء من يمتك معلم. TTD. So here's a company that is a broker. Perfect. Here's a company that's a broker for ad space. And I think the way they work is they know the people that want to buy advertising, and then they have probably special pricing from where the advertising goes, and they marry the two. It's a good business. And the proof is a good business. I did a video yesterday, so I know what I'm talking about. Check out this P&L. The P&L doesn't lie. Look at the total revenue / sales. Look, 155, 78, 50, 54, 40, 26, pandemic, 40. Nothing wrong with the business, right? $1.3 billion run rate in sales. That's more than double in 3 years, 4 years. That's pretty freaking amazing, right? I bet you they lose a lot of money, right? Let's see, net income. No, they don't. They're profitable. What? Okay, so they must burn cash like crazy. No, they don't. They make 420 million in cash from their own operations. So they're not borrowing money. Oh, they must have a hideous balance sheet. Nope, they don't. Okay, so what's wrong with them? Nothing is wrong with them. What's wrong with them is they're caught in what I call the small crap vortex. And I'll explain in a second. So they must be expensive. Well, they're not cheap. The stock price is 18 times sales. So if you buy shares right now, you're giving them credit for 18 years worth of full year sales based on the run rate now. But remember, they doubled in 3 years. So that 18 number will normalize in a couple of years, will be in single digits. So growth companies at 18 is not extravagant. It's not cheap, but it's not extravagant. Okay, so the P&L right now, Wall Street since November, Wall Street has no appetite for P&Ls that look like this, high growth in sales and losses, but they haven't been discerning on the losses. This doesn't have losses. Those orange lines are net income. So they have no appetite for anything that grows like this. They sell it like that. Anything that Kathy freaking Invest, whatever her name is, could like, they hate. So that's why the sellers are in charge. So the bulls are trying to put a stance. So I would get long and I would stop out below here. Why? Because the distance from here to the 2020 is pretty big, like I just showed you with NVIDIA. So there's a lot of potential fall. So if I'm looking to invest for the long term, I would take half a position. However I do it, calls, shares, sold puts, sold, whatever. And this is my mark. My thesis would be 1, fundamental, perfect. I just ran through all of this. So they get a check mark there. 2, technical, why? It's falling into support. That is a good solid support. Support could be breached. Therefore, I should only take half position for now to see what happens. That's all there is to it. And what happens here? I would book some. Why? Because they've been selling it. I will assume they're going to sell it again. And then it does this. And then if this fails, there you go. Inverse cup and handle, or yeah, inverse cup and handle, whoop, on to the next one. Rinse and repeat. So assume the worst, exit longs or trim or lock or sell covered calls or something. And then when they don't fail here and they come back and they beat this, oh, positive step number one along this building, rounding bottom. But don't assume this won't fail. Assume it will fail. Book your profits. So I have the ABCs of trading in this environment. Check it out. The ABCs of trading inside high VIX. The VIX is the fear factor. You add insurance on rallies. You use rallies to fix things, book profits, or close problem trades. Let's say you had a problem trade and yesterday you got a rally. Instead of closing it, you said yes, and you didn't do anything. Today you got spanked in the face. So you book profits fast. You close problem trades on bounces. I made 2 mistakes yesterday. I left a couple of trades that I should have closed. I can still deal with them, but I made my own mistakes. I had special circumstances, so I'll forgive myself for now. You're welcome, Kenneth. I used to own TTD and Magni, sell side and buy side for ads. Okay. Well, if you sold months ago, good for you. You're thinking getting back in? I don't know Magni off the top of my head. But do you see what's going on here, people? That's what we do all day. Apps is pretty good too. Yeah, we'll do apps. Right. I know. I call it Magni. I don't know what they do though. It's some sort of a rare earth or something. Is this a component of battery stuff? Oh no, never mind. Same as TTD. Yeah, don't do both. Look, they look the same. Yeah, I like the other P&L better. They don't have negative incomes. I like TTD P&L better. And they generate way more cash. Look at that, 126 million. The other ones was 400, 420. And this look at the liabilities. They borrowed a whole bunch. They took $1 billion loan or something. Yes, yeah. Between the two, I would take TTD.
Hey, Nick, really quick, man. Just want to give a very big shout out here to a very special person here, our newest family member, of course, of the Options Inner Circle chat room, Gene Bay. What's going on, Gene? Welcome to the group here. Let's go.
All right, Gene, welcome aboard. Hopefully you heard me say what I said to the other person that joined. Okay, so I do want to remind you of what else you get that we didn't. Friday, I send out a note to all of us saying, here's a form, give me the tickers you want to discuss, like you guys are doing. Some people cannot be in the chat room. They absolutely cannot because they have work or whatever, family. And then they send in their tickers. And usually it's between 130 and 160 tickers. I compile the tickers. I do the homework on Saturday, and Sunday morning, I will offer the spreadsheet with clickable charts that you can take away with video. I record it for those who cannot attend for whatever reason. And it's usually chock full of ideas. I broke it up recently into 3 different videos because that's a lot of tickers. So it's easier to scroll through alphabetically. And I put comments and I put some trade setups if I see anything. So that is on Sunday. And on top of it, on Sunday night, I send out a video saying, well, look out for this, look out for that 10-minute video. Here's my strategy for the week. So those are usually lifesavers. We've had a couple of blindsides lately. Like I knew Thursday last week would be bad. I didn't think Friday would be bad. I knew Wednesday would be good. And I didn't think Thursday would be that bad. I knew we had a drop on Tuesday, which I don't think happened on Monday. So I was off a day here and there, but the concept was solid. So the the overall strategy is working. And it's like a 10-minute video to say, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you're thinking something along the lines. Okay, so let's see here. You have apps. Let me do apps first. That was the Ooh, digital turbine. Yes. So when a stock looks like this, I stop trading it. But if you know the company, go right ahead. But I mean, this is a good P&L. Small crap, vortex, big growth, small dollars in relative term, back to summer. That's the pre-COVID level? No. Yeah. So miles to go. I don't have anything tangible. So if you're long already, you didn't capitulate. 13.7 would somewhere inside these two candles would be a place. If I would pick up one value, 13.4. That candle right there. This one. The resistance, yeah, no kidding, right? That didn't play out. I'll leave it there so I don't just pretty up the charts as to where I was right and not wrong. I'll leave it there. Look, they're consistently selling rallies. Don't assume any different until they show you different. Every rally, sell it. Rally, sell it until you hit 13. But that's right there. That's like $1 lower. Interesting. So put it on your calendar. Put an alert. What did I say? 13 point what? 0.2 or something. 1172. Oh, wait, there's a gap all the way to 7. I will put an alert. Gap closed. From eons ago. I will tell myself a little bit earlier so I can, and I'll change this to gap closing. There. I'm not saying it's going there. Thanks, Kenneth. I just want to look at it. It's not something I want to trade right here. Okay. I can try on this couple of months before committing. You can try it on Sri for a week. You'll know. You'll know. I promise you. I mean, listen, if you divide up the cost, whatever the heck it is, by a whole, is it for a year, Rodrigo?
Yeah, it is for the full year.
Correct. Okay, if you divide up the cost for the full year, I had my own group, and if I were to price my own group, it would be that much a month. That's how much effort I put into it. I'm sitting here 8 hours to 10 hours a day, sharing my screen and talking to you. Put a value on that. So there's no way. I wish I had a school like this that was open 24/7. Anytime I show up, there's somebody that can help me for a fraction of the cost of any other course you can take in real life. If you want to take a diving course, it would cost you 3 times as much. I mean, think about it. A driving course, like if you want to ride a motorcycle, that's probably $700 course or something. And it's just one-time deal. Anyway, and this is, you need help with the chart, you jump in. You don't want to do the homework, you dump it on me. Here, do my homework. Tell me what you think of this company. I'll do it. Pedro, you've been selling puts on, oof, okay. Lesson, Pedro, lesson. Hold on, I have it here somewhere. Hold on. This is like one of these. Okay, we can start here. This is the last thing I'll do here. Rodrigo, I'm giving you like a 10-minute heads up. I'm like dying. When you take a risk, hi, Joe. When you take a risk, you have 2 decisions to make. The first one is, how much can I lose? Okay. And that you sit, you have your parameters, you've spoken to your family. If you're single, you've decided that, okay, I can only take X dollars per trade. Otherwise, I'm going to break the bank. I can't do that. So you establish a dollar amount. How much can I lose? And you say, that's okay. I'm taking it, right? The second part of risk is, what are my odds of winning? And that's the part you manage. You don't manage that. Okay. So what you just did is you managed that. What did you do? You had a problem, right? You sold a put, it went lower. Now you have a problem. So what do? You make it bigger. You just made your problem bigger with no new information, and then bigger with no new information, and then bigger. with no new information. Suddenly you're buried. No. Here's a suggestion. Never ever. I want you. I've heard people put an acronym to it. DCA. DCA. No. 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 No dollar cost averaging. No. I don't know one professional successful trader that condones dollar cost averaging. You know what they do? They average in. What does that mean? What's the difference? Okay, let's say that number that you decided was $1,000. So you take 500 first and you see what happens. It falls, you add another 500. You didn't manage this number up. You took your initial risk in two pieces to find a really good entry point somewhere in the middle. No more dollar cost averaging. Average in. Please, please, please ask Hylian people who harassed me forever every time I did a video. Oh my gosh, the harassment I got from Hylian people. And I was trying to help. I said at 1850, get out. And I said, stop averaging down, at least stop averaging down. They should have listened. Every rally got sold. So don't dollar cost average. And if you do have to, unbelievably for some reason, have to, do it in stocks that you know they're bulletproof. Like this, apps are not bulletproof. Apple is bulletproof. Google, Amazon, those are bulletproof. So you have tangible value. You know that the market needs them. The ETF, the companies that put out funds that you buy into, all these Janus funds and all of that, they have to buy the ETFs. They have to buy the big guys. They don't have to buy apps. They don't. So you have a default buyer at a certain level. So that is a dollar cost average scenario that I could swallow. But in these other ones, no. My best friend from childhood, he's not here today, hopefully not. Love him dearly. During the before the .com, I don't know if you were old enough to trade the .com, but anything with a .com in it sold extravagantly, and they didn't even have sales. Kind of like the EVs now. They didn't have sales. They just had a plan, and that's it. And there was a company called Webvan. You don't remember it, but its business was to deliver groceries from the internet orders. Can you believe it? They went out of business. They would have killed it now. He kept averaging down, lost the bundle. And in the end, he owned nothing. So dollar cost average is a horrific idea in my book. In general, most people get hurt from it. Not most, I don't have a stat. I bet you often enough. That would be good. Okay. Selling puts at 12, TDD is better. Catching up, you have IIV. That's the real estate on pot companies, right? $80 July 22, call 100. Okay, let me see what you got. IIVI. Is that it? What is this? No, that's not it. IIR something, the other one. Okay, so let's go to a daily and get the weekly. I don't know what it, okay, looks like Intel. All right, so what did you do? You have $80 July 15th, call at 100. Wait, 100 of them at $80. Had hoped to sell it last night, 50% profit, cost you $30. Should have sold it, bid 45. Anything to salvage. Okay, so Joe, oh, okay. Thank God. I was like, holy crap, that's a big problem. Okay, so let me see if I got this right. You bought an $80 call yesterday or whenever for expiry July. You had hoped to sell it last night for 50% profit. Did they have earnings or something? No. You had hoped to sell it last night before the bell closed, the bell rang. You had profits and you didn't book it, as you're saying, and went to 17 today. Is that what happened? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I get you. You bought it here, you got the run, and you didn't book. See, if you were in my room and you would have said, "Hey, Nick, should I book?" I would have said, "I would." because it ran into prior fails. It ran into a moving average. So I would, in hindsight, I'm not saying, oh man, I'm saying next time you're in that situation, you pop in the room, what do you think I should do with this win? So, well, now it's toast. So here's the scenario. Have you hit your stop out level? That's the first question. And the other first question is the reason you bought it still there? If it's not, then either of those two should stop you out regardless of what I think. Okay. So today was an unusual day. Since you didn't get out, there's nothing to do. Tomorrow you just hope for a freaking rally like nobody's business. And on that rally, if you come anywhere near to being even again, I would get out. Remember ABCs? The ABCs? I just told you. ABCs. Okay, the C part, close problem trades. Now it's a problem trade. It's worth half of what you paid, roughly. And if you get 3/4 of that back, I would close it. Oh, it's up to 23. Okay, so tomorrow, if you get a burst and if it gets you to even, I would get out. Hey, you just got a gift. Not now, you can't. It's the market's closed. Right? Market's closed, right? It's 335. Sleeper, if you want to, how do you invest now, Sleeper? You're starting. I can help on all angles. So what I can tell you, you may not be able to do what I'm doing or recommending, but I can get you on your feet with a whole bunch of quasi hand-holding where I have a whole bunch of basic videos about options and some basic about investing. And you have the platform to come back and say, I watched that video, the first one, and I don't understand this part of it. Can you elaborate? And if you have patience, I think I can help. If you're in there trying to get the trade alerts that I'm saying so you can just trade without knowing anything, I think you're doing yourself a disfavor. I mean, you could use my service for that, but that's not how I would use it at all. Like you see how I went through, was it Square? No, TTD. You see how I went through TTD from start to finish? Fundamentals, technicals, personal opinion. And usually what I would do also in the video, I would say, here's what the world looks like. Here's what the S&P, like yesterday I did 2 videos, one on TTD and one on Square. And I started with the SPX. I said, here's where we're at. Here's where we're at. And here's where we can go. And to scare people, I said, this is pre-COVID levels. We're still up here. Well, yesterday we were up here. Now we're down here. So we came 7%. That's cool. The IWM closed it. Look at Apple. So I tried to scare people out of everything yesterday. That's Apple's look, Apple. 38%. Wow, Apple had a good day. No, -4. So 38%. It's up to you. I think, Sleeper, you need somebody who can handhold you. I can't do that 100%, but I can listen to every question you have anytime, night or day. I share enough information that if you have the aptitude to learn, you can learn. I'm not a coach one-on-one because I have thousands of subscribers. You're welcome. Maybe I'll see you in there, Sleeper. And if somebody wants to get better at charting, oh, by the way, I'm an engineer. I am not a Wall Street guy. And I can tell you one thing, they're pulling the wool over your eyes. It's not even funny. This stuff is not rocket science, and it's not how they say it works. On the one hand, when you take an options class, they tell you most options expire worthless. And then you hear Nigerians who are the kings of options, right, on CNBC, they come out and say, they are buying the blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, you just told me that most options expire worthless. And now you're bringing my attention to a spot that has a ton of options. that by definition is the spot for that area has the most options. So you're telling me to go buy a loser, which you bought yesterday, and now I have to go buy your profits. It's what those two things don't work. You either all options expire worthless, or you're chasing all options. You can't have both. Now, if you find a position like I did yesterday, where I thought the price was going to go down because of that concept, have you heard of the Max Payne theory? It's good in theory, but if you apply it word for word, you're going to lose. If you take that theory and you apply it like I do, you'll have golden tickets every day, because it's like they say, the last hour is amateur hour. Yep, I'd like to compete against amateurs because I think I have the upper hand. So give me amateurs any day. And I did buy a put for 20 cents yesterday, 24 cents yesterday. That turned into $1.50, 60, and 30. Depends on where you exited, because we played with amateurs. So anyway, enough ranting. I'm out of gas. Rodrigo, are you here?
Yeah, good stuff there, Nick, man. Great session. And guys, keep in mind, I'm going to be here. I'm just going to stick around for a couple minutes going over the chat room and that. But if you want more from Nick, join the chat room. You have a 7-day money back guarantee. There's no excuse at this point. Shout out to Nick. Let's go.
Sleeper, I encourage you to test it out. I think you and I are on the same page. Let's give it a shot. All right. You got nothing to lose. Literally, they'll give you your money back. Those guys are awesome. Oh, by the way, I don't work for them, Benzinga. I work with them by choice for like a decade, maybe 11 years. Joseph, I'll see you. Hey, take your time. Take your time. I know it's not cheap, but it is cheap if you want to get things done. So it's a lot of money, but it's relatively cheap to alternatives out there. Christian.
Definitely.
I appreciate you spending the time here. I wish I had more energy. I'm literally beat right now. I need to go walk my dog. Poor guy.
Yeah, walk him out, man. No worries. Shout out to Nic Chahine. Let's go, man. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the chat room tomorrow. And
I'll see you in here, Kenneth. And reach out to, if you're in here, hit me up on social media. Follow me. You want to do me a favor? Follow me on social media. So social media being Twitter and StockTwits if you want. That's me. See, very Wall Street-like name, @RacerNick. @RacerNick. No K in there.
Yeah, you're all right, Mr. Suit. You're a suit, Nick.
All right, later, buddy.
All right. So there you go. Nick's a very down-to-earth guy. Like he said, he man. All right. So I don't know for how long I was muted there, but basically this is the live trade. This is the education session where pretty much Nick is posting all the trades, like what is a call, what is a put, what is a spread, what are all the different types of option trades that you can make, which is the best one, how to know all that stuff and differentiate between that, right? So that's education. Everything here is education. Then you have the live trading room. It's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You can be there at any point during the day. Sometimes I'll come in there for like 30 minutes or an hour. I'll make my trade and that's it, or when I need guidance, if I'm down on a trade or I don't know what the market's going to do, it looks choppy. I'll go in there and I'll get Nick's take on all this stuff. So this is the live trading room. You're going to see once, Nick is here Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. In this room, you're going to see his screen, and he's going to be sharing it webinar style. So you guys can comment here, in that chat. You can message him directly as well. And you can private message him. He can answer you private message, or he can answer you like by doing the lesson live for you, just for you. So it does have a lot of perks, right? Especially if you're live trading the active markets, day trading, scalping, swing, whatever. All right, so we went through the education room, the live trading room. This is the blue chat room. It's the main chat room. It's where everything begins and where everything began. So like you come here and you're gonna find this link. There's two channels, right? Inner circle chat, that's where everybody is, all the members posting trade ideas, education, sharing stuff. And then you have Nick's important messages where only Nick can post. So this is where you're going to find all of his trades, entries, exits. You will also find the link to the session, which is every day, Monday to Friday. And it's going to say this. One second. It's going to be a post like this with the date, a quick market overview, and a couple links with charts of all the indexes. I always look at it in the morning. And this is the live session, right? You have it right there. Kenneth, when you can. Joseph, what kind of possibilities do you mean? All right, I responded to you privately there, Joseph. Let me know. Let me know if that works. But everybody that joins will get a free laptop, by the way. You have a 7-day money back guarantee, and you're also going to get a $400 value added surprise gift that I added by myself. Nobody knows about this. It's just for you guys. So once you join, you're going to see you got a little something extra, something more than the inner circle. It's not an error. It's on purpose, right? So everybody that joins in this session, again, keep in mind, you have to use the link chat room. You can't it has to be with this link because it's only attached to this. So if you want this and all the bonus stuff, we went over, make sure that you're using the link in the chat or the one in, like the one on the YouTube stuff. So I think we are kind of good to go here. Hold up. All right, so I think, all right, audio is fine. All right, cool. All right, so let's see, Joseph, I'm writing an email with the details, and yes, thank you. We're almost there. Okay, so if that works, no worries, Joseph. Send me an email. You know what's up now, right? And I'll hook you up here. Obviously, the sooner the better, so it doesn't get too late for anybody. Jay, so is this the main chat room Nick mentioned? No, there's no Discord. It's better than Discord. That's probably what you heard, Jay. We don't use that cheap garbage here. We have our own stuff. Like it's pretty much like Benzinga proprietary technology. This whole chat room has come a long way. It just has a lot to it, right? But keep in mind, this is the portal to a lot of things, right? It's the portal, right? So you remember that you have the session on Sundays, Jay, which is like, from 10 to 12 or 10 to 1. It's like 2-3 hours on Sundays. You're welcome, Jay. What size account should you have? Doug, that's up to you. Everybody starts from a different place, So, I mean, if you can start from there, I think you'll be fine. There's people that have started with less, and keep in mind that like Nick has strategies for large accounts, medium-sized accounts, small accounts, and there's also people that just joined to learn. There's people that are not even comfortable trading yet. So they recognize that, and they just want to make sure that they have a good grip, right, on options in general. Are these all for day trades or for weekly trades? Kenneth, you have both. You have both, man. So you have people that that day trade. Like if I'm trading, I'll probably day trade or I'll swing something. But there are people that do longer term trades or maybe have a full time job or maybe they just don't want to be trading the day to day. So they do longer term trades that are safer, right, per se. They have a much higher probability of success. And when those are the type of trades that people do that, and it's maybe they're busy with work, or they run a company, or they're busy, but they still want their money to work for them, right? So they do these sort of trades that are for the busy person, right? And Nick can go over in details how to make those trades, how to adjust them. Keep in mind, you're with him all day. You can't ask for more than that. And then on top of that, you're with him on Sunday, right? As well. So you can adjust your trades literally every day as the market moves with Nick, because you have him there live, right? So Kenneth, it applies to all sorts of trades. There are people that day trade, do longer term setups. There's people from all, that do all sorts of trades. Like I pop in there for a couple hours if I'm trading, that's it. I cannot be there the whole day because you got stuff to do. But it's good because you have that immediate access. You don't have to figure it out on your own. And it's just different when you're trading in a group. So I'm going to post the link there before we do wrap this up, folks. If you have questions, right now is the time before we do finish this. All right, since you guys are being nice today, I'm going to show you a quick video that Nick made on LMT. I'm going to show you like a trade, well, a video that he put out for the members. But you need give me a 1 in the chat if you want it. Like if you don't want it, that's fine. We can just cut it out here and call it a day. All right. You sure you guys want to see the video? Okay. All right. Let me find it here. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but I'll show you guys this stuff. Doug, you traded call options and put options. How long does it take? How long does it take to learn for vertical credit spreads? Yeah, Doug, everybody's got a different learning pace, but the resources when it comes to learning is the most important part, and you don't have any lack of resources when it comes to this chat room. You're there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You're literally paying pennies on the dollar for this man's hour, time, and life. So I'll just leave it there. Just crunch the numbers, you'll see. All right, so let's look at this LMT trade here, folks.
So Lockheed Martin, we've traded twice before. One time on the short side when it rallied, we sold a credit call spread and suggested buying a debit put spread instead if somebody cannot do that, or both. When it fell, we sold a credit put spread to bet long on the stock. So both of these worked, and it was almost a perfect trade. Not almost, it was a perfect trade. So this time around, I'm renewing it. And this question came from the debate today in the chat room. If you're not in the chat room and you're able to be here once in a while, you don't have to commit to it. I highly suggest you get in there somehow. It is unbelievably educational, and there's so many good people here that we can all learn from. Just today would have been a perfect example of that. Anyway, so the setup was a little strange. This iron condor here, which is pretty tight, basically saying if price action is between 455 and 3 $3.90 first thing in the morning. It paid $2. Now that is changed a little bit. So now I tested the premiums and I got a fill on this one. So these are two different iron condors, one a little bit wider than the other. Pays a little bit less, risks a little bit more, slightly better odds, not much. So it depends on a personal preference. So this today it's falling hard. I don't know on what, but the market has been falling hard on you know what. Powell tomorrow is binary, so there's no need to do anything today. But if somebody is itching to do something, why not take something that's balanced? It balances itself. It's somewhat independent of the market to a degree, not really, but to a degree. So the reason why I would do an iron condor now, even after such a drop, is because I can't trust the Fed. The guy is a moron. And he might do something like a full point raise and say something that, hey, we might do more of these and the market will crash. I guarantee it. We will crash. It's not priced in. So not expected words from him, but nothing would surprise me at this point. I just did the trade and it paid $1.30. So the trade is to take a risk down here at 3. Let me double check. 1 second. So 380 is where the risk lives, which means I sell the 380 put and I buy the one below it, and I'll show you a visual in a second. And on the upper side, I would sell the call spread at 455. So I need to change that to 380 and this one to 455. Whoops. So that would be the spread. So this one is no longer there. That's weird. So I'm going to move it to the side. So for visual purpose, this is the one I just did. It paid me $1.30. My risk is the balance between that.
Call us at 1-800-581-4500. That's 1-800-581-4500.
Yo, sorry about that noise. It was some person there in the chat room. My bad. I don't know if you guys heard it, but yeah, let's get back here.
$5. Sounds high, but it's too aggressive. Why? They're paying me too big of a reward. Let me explain. So I'm going to show you a visual of that. You guys in the live room will not see that visual. So they're excited. The S&P just made a little move there. That's that inverse head and shoulders I was talking about, guys. Okay, so this is the visual of the iron condor. Price is right here. I want it to stay below here in the next 30 days. I want it to stay above here in the next 30 days. Seems like a tall order. But the reason why there's more distance here is we just fell a whole bunch. So I don't want to get blindsided and price goes up here. So again, this and that make up this box, which is two pieces, a credit call spread and a credit put spread. These numbers are wrong. I'll update them. So the idea is to, I just got a error report from Thinkorswim. Okay. And my window's gone. There we go. The idea is to find a call spread that would offer some balance. 50 cents is okay, is not great, because if I move it to here, if I move this down to here, I will open myself up to a rebound. Let's say tomorrow Powell doesn't say anything bad, boom, stocks rally. So 50 cents up here is good enough for me. Some people might want to do this. Feel free. It pays more, not for me. I want a little bit more distance. I'd rather deal with the heat at support than the resistance the rally into resistance at this point. So this one pays some about 80 cents. I think 79 cents paid me. This one paid me 50 cents. So 80 and 50 is $1.30, and I'm risking the balance. The yield on this, 30% after fees, so 37 net. Poo-poo that. It's pretty aggressive, so it's not going to be easy. If you've never done credit spreads, this would be a good paper trade, meaning take it in a fake way and see how you deal with it. And then once you're ready to go in full bore, you start one contract, something like this. Learn the craft first. Practice it with fake money, then practice it with real money. Small mistakes. So this mistake would make me $130 or would lose me the balance between that and $500. And this has 30 days, and it does expire. That's the important part. Before the earnings, I would want to be out, definitely, for sure. And guess what? I would stop out if either this delta, you can see the delta is 0.19 right now, right there. 0.19, delta, 0.19. And the delta on this one is 0.13. So if either of those two will go to 0.3 or higher aggressively, I would consider stopping out. And it shouldn't be that much damage overall. And that's one way. The other way is if you're down X money, percentage, everybody's different, then you can set a number in your head that scares you out. If I get a quick profit, what do I mean? Like I'm collecting $1.30 now. If by next week or early or tomorrow or 2 weeks from now, it's down to 70 cents, I will buy the whole thing back for 70 cents. So give up half the profits. I would gladly do that because this is the kind of stock that is kind of headline every once in a while. Oh, we got a project with so-and-so, boom, it rallies. And then, oh, they lost to Boeing, boom, it falls, or something like that. So we have to be careful. All right, so I think we beat this one to death. Its price is right here, risk is right here, price is right here, risk is right there. So the credit call spread this time around would be here. So that's the visual of it. What do I need to win? I just need price to be boring inside the box.
All right, folks. So that was some sort of LMT trade setup. You can see there's a lot more detail to this as well in the chat. And you're going to see a lot of this stuff from Nic. Trade ideas, setups, videos, educate. Look, I mean, that was packed with education. But then you have all, you have so much stuff that Nic puts out here. You have earnings. You like trading earnings? Here you go. So he always does this. Every day you're going to have earnings from Nic there, right? And it's just part of the chat room. It's what you get. You have market commentaries as well. The live session, don't forget. And you always have the indexes pretty much charted up. I think it's fair to say, I mean, you know what else happened here, right? Right, you can look at the arrows. You pretty know what we were expecting in the chat room. And that's really part of trading in a group, in a community. Everybody helps each other out. So I think that covers everything, guys. We've been here for like 2-3 hours. It's been a long, productive day here in the chat room with Nic. So if you want to be part of this, if you want to definitely take your trading to that next level, because a lot of you guys maybe hit a plateau. You learned a couple things on a YouTube video and you think you're good to wing it. But I'll tell you, it's much better to do this than to pay the market a constant tuition that it's unlimited basically. So, take care of your money, right? Find a mentor. I think Nic Chahine would be great for the job. You're going to be working with him, trading with him together as a partner, right? This is not just a chat room where you can read. You can communicate back and forth in the chat room, and that makes it an amazing experience. If you want to learn, trade, whichever one. So if you have any questions, just send an email. Have a great day, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow.